we are going to slip into the. We're going to slip back into the story. After the last session, you all took a lazy river ride that wasn't exactly too lazy, since there's big mutated aberrant eels, a statue of a merchant from days gone past, and then you made it to Oldport. And let me find it here, because Oldport is right here, just as we left it. In fact, there's that fun little bonus drawing, because Mordecai was getting a custom mask made for Oldport that is just opulent, exorbitant, and just very much extra. It is a little gold cap here that fits on the end of his horns, and then it goes through two little, there's a red string that goes through two little loops as it comes down, and then it's almost just like a gauzy veil with a weight at the bottom that would go over his face. However, he paid a little bit more, price to be determined, but he paid a little bit more, such that the veil could change the color of his eyes pretty much on a whim. Which, you might say, well, I could do that with thaumaturgy. That's true, you can. But, I mean, if you want to be a little decadent, why do you have to do it when something else can do it for you? You got other things to do with your actions. You're a busy caster. And
I am a cleric. Yes.
Yes. You're a full caster, and people need you in a pinch. So, but you got to look good doing it. This is one way to go about it. To delve into at least the culture that once was in Oldport, as well, things have changed. Especially, I mean, you've been away longer than the 2.5 years that it took for you all to be hurled through hell. But when you've come back, there's been, a lot of the architecture is there, but there's been some retrofittings. There has been some changes, not just to the buildings, but of course in the sky now are a lot of the Shadowhar airships, and you're even seeing some of their more classical naval vessels in the waters, alongside the vessels that you grew up. I'm sure you ran around the docks and whatnot when you were younger. Either going to like a fresh fish market or just sort of looking for trouble or whatever. Maybe you listen to the sailors as they'd sing all their various songs, from all the different places they went. Those half-orc sailors, we say half-orc, in the setting for all of you out there, the placeholder, the mechanical placeholder is half-orc, but there's really been no full orcs to encounter, so as far as we're aware, they could be orcs or they could be someone else, but the spotlight of detail hasn't fallen on them in this story thus far. Not that I haven't offered. But anyway, I don't know, maybe your mom or dad would sort of tell you to earmuff around the orcish sailors, because their songs were a little, perhaps a little risque. So anyway, you're back home. You sold the barge that you found Pouty Lips on to the captain's assistant for what did you want him to pay? He was counting it out. 50 gold?
I think it was 50 gold.
I
think
it was 50 gold. And he
I
was very slowly.
Didn't actually care.
But yes, you wanted to make him the captain of his own ship. Bless his heart, and and maybe one day he can ply the river waters as well, and find success in some way.
It was 50 gold, but he paid it in a wheelbarrow full of coppers.
Yeah, because he had his piggy bank, which was the other half of his barrel that he introduced you to. Or his bucket, quote unquote. What was the other half? Was it Henry? Because it was Dear Liza that was the first half of the barrel. But this is all important stuff for all of you out there who want to play D&D. You got to remember your NPCs. And half of a barrel is... I don't know when that will come up again, but it might, and it why not? Why not? Give it a name and a backstory.
Most of the characters don't have names, but the bucket has a name.
Yes. All right. So it was nighttime. Things were, I mean, not quite as quiet because things are a lot busier now with the Shadowheart around. Though there was no real sign of, I guess, a lockdown or like a martial law either by Mesotopian or specifically by old old Portian or old Portian authorities. It's a quiet evening, and you are walking. You are going to make your way to the Tumbled Wench. Given there's a bevy of choices, but it came down to you want to stay in more of a Shadowheart place that went up called the Wild Cherry. Of course, you all are. You were there at the original Wild Cherry. Or do you want to go to a renovated Tumbled Wench? And I believe you all said the Tumbled Wench.
Yep. Tumbled wench.
Tumbled wench.
All right. So as you walk through town, towards the area where the hotels are, you do notice, and as I hope. Hopefully this drawing is useful and very pretty for you, but I'm going to have to erase it here, Coffee. Because just as there was in the last piece of art that represented just such a thing, you will notice there's no streetcars yet. Give it a little bit more time here. But there are people on horses and there are carriages. But you are noticing that there is another burning tower that is being, I guess, built as per like a wall to contain it. And this seems to be something that is a part of Old Port now. No one's running and panicking. There doesn't seem to be any sort of fiendish incursions that are, eating people. You still do see skyships just sort of lazily going across the town, and things are what they are. It's a quiet night. In terms of like monster attacks, explosions, or anything else horribly tragic that has occurred in the past with a D&D game, and you are able to, you do approach the Tumbled Wench in Old Port here, and my goodness, but it is packed and very festive. In fact, I think I have. Maybe I don't have. Oh, that's what I was missing. I forgot to download the music, or at least add it to the scene here. Give me 1 second. Where are you? Totally ruining everyone's immersion here. How many songs have I used in this game? Oh my goodness.
So many. You don't organize them into folders? My god.
I didn't know you could put them in folders.
You can.
That's actually a relatively new thing, being able to put things in folders.
And I think I said that exact same thing not too long ago to Darkwolf when she organized a part of the OBS with Biddy, because Biddy's actually like 3 different layers. And I'm just like, sorcery. This is what? You could do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, grouping stuff in OBS. Yeah.
Grouping stuff. There's grouping things in what's it called? Roll20. There's lots of things. Roll20 is robust.
There we go. This will work. All right. There's a full crowd. There we go. Back on pace. There's a full crowd. Meals, like full meals, are still being served even this late at night. There are dancers and gamblers and people drinking and guffawing. There's a mix of Shadowhar and locals. The Shadowhar, it's not like a 50-50, but at least tonight here, there's no one that's really at odds. Everyone is having a time. Even if it's just, you know what, you got some random dude back here just in his cups, probably drooling, has had more than his fair share. But you know what, he's not making a scene. He's not trying to like pick a fight with the soldiers or you know, like run out on his tab or anything. The service actually seems to be very comprehensive. Everyone's well tended. No one's, you know, beer here. What's going on? But welcome to a very renovated and with Shadowhari decoration. Not entirely. It hasn't taken over the motif of the Tumbled Wench, but this would be giving you a similar vibe if any of you have ever, I don't know, if you've ever gone to like, oh wow, it's a prototype McDonald's or something like that, or you know, it's the new construction they're with. You're like, oh, that's kind of cool, you know. I get it. I know what McDonald's is, but I've never seen one like that before. So it has a refreshing feeling. It has a lot of the comforts and the predictability of a Tumbled Wench, with the same services and goods and everything. But it has a slightly different feel and something that is bigger. There are pipes that you see that are sort of bolted to the walls that are running through and are providing light in here. There are candles and more traditional means as well, but a lot of the more major fixtures would maybe appear almost like a candle, except there's no wick nor goopy wax.
And this is new developments, like, since I've been here.
Yes.
I mean, everything's going to be new over 10 years.
Yeah.
What am I saying?
It's the basic shape, and you eat on the first floor and sleep on the floors above, so at least there's that old reliable. In particular, I will say that there is a good, maybe like a half-inch pipe that goes up to the ceiling and to a major fixture hung from there that would be some sort of a chandelier. Again, except while there are like little tubes coming out from the ring, there don't appear to be any candles lit.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go order us a room.
All right, and Mordecai, the treasurer of the group. It's probably best that you do that.
He has all the money.
Everyone else has spent their allowances already.
Yeah, I give out allowances. It goes like hotcakes. So.
Oh, don't say that.
I really.
That shot of banana rum was great, though. The taste of home, and for Cypher, well, a taste of fondness.
While your quarters are being arranged, Professor, Bright, Norlai, are the three of you doing anything in particular, or just waiting for the, all right, jingle the keys, let's go?
Yeah, waiting for the jingle.
I'm gonna get a drink.
Very good. Bright?
Probably gonna be something full of caffeine, no doubt.
Yeah, she can have caffeine now because she's 19. I think Bright would be interested in the machinery.
Sure.
First thing I would definitely want to do is cast a detect magic.
All right. Ritual, I presume.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I don't have it ready today.
And so, over the next 11 minutes here, Bright is concentrating on a spell. Noralai is going to be getting a beverage of some kind. And Professor, what are you doing here?
Professor,
Yes.
what are you doing?
Yes, what am I doing? That is a very good question. I was actually in thought about what it was that I was doing and zoned out a little bit. Thought a little bit too hard about what it was that I was going to be doing and didn't come up with an answer.
Your brain broke. Brain break.
Bum, bum, bum.
It's fine.
Brain
I was
break.
thinking about the wonderful geometries.
Yes.
The wonderful geometries. Something,
you
something,
do.
what is that melody?
I was going to say, I don't think that's the dancer's name, if that's what we're talking about.
But no, you know, something, something, what is that melody? Something, something, harness the harness.
It only counts if you say it in Dutch.
Yeah, it only counts if I say it in Dutch. Unfortunately, my Dutch is a little rusty, so... No, Cypher currently will be waiting for Mordecai to jingle the keys
Sure.
because getting set up is the major thing to happen. Especially since, well, you know, I was the only one who came prepared with a mask built into my armor because I know that this happens. I know
I
it
have a
doesn't
mask.
Well, that's true. Noralai also has a mask.
I just wanted a new mask. I was tired of my old one.
Well, that's
Same.
fair.
Also, I think I
I
lost
have
it in
multiple
hell.
masks.
That's fair.
I
But
hope
you
it's
guys,
fair.
lost your masks in hell, whereas I was just like, when we re-manifested, I was just like, right, well, better just fix that problem immediately then.
All right, so I'm gonna start with the easier of the bunch, beyond the professor, just kind of hanging out and watching the geometry sway. Mordecai, what
You
kind
could
of
be.
what
Sit.
kind of a room would you like to get? There's all manner, including they actually have a whole, like, a top floor suite, which has separate bedrooms. And you have fresh hot water. Internal plumbing is like, okay, you drive past a bunch of motels and they're like, color TV, or maybe even HBO. Like, every place as you've been walking here is like indoor plumbing and hot water. Yeah.
See, now I'm just expecting a Captain Midnight.
But yes, there's one. It even has like a little private study in it. It has privacy curtains. Like, you're getting the top floor of this place, if you wish.
Is there a preference, Professor? I don't have a preference.
I mean, indoor plumbing would be nice,
Uh,
and
oh,
hot water would also be nice.
But you're also
continental
the kind
breakfast
of
will be
learner.
brought up to you as well, if you wish, or you may go downstairs with everyone else.
You're also a very opulent person, Professor.
I wouldn't consider myself to be opulent. Simply,
You carry yourself like you're regal. You can't tell me you're not opulent.
I carry myself like I'm distinguished, not that I'm regal. There is a difference.
There is not a difference.
There's
Not
a
when I
major
look at
difference.
you. Not when I look at you.
But Mr. Silverleaf, that is simply the symptom of a parochial worldview.
Parochial?
He uses big
What
words. I just ignore them.
Yeah. That's a, and in the terms of that, that's a gargantuan word. What does that mean?
Narrow in scope.
Could have just said that. You didn't have to be flouncy about it.
I'd like to exercise my vocabulary. All right. That's not
You
a.
are
It's
an
not
educated
nothing.
man. You are a
Yes.
very educated man.
I would like to think so. If all of my qualifications are any indication of that.
Which you tout regularly.
I worked hard. Why not? But I mean, pride cometh before the fall.
I was about to say the same thing.
And when you can reverse gravity, the fall can go on for a long time.
You really can.
Yes, that is also true.
She's not wrong.
Well, as for me, most people just don't trust gnomes with indoor plumbing.
Is there a reason for that?
I mean, we like to experiment, and so that generally means we put a lot of things down the toilets. Sometimes they explode, sometimes they don't.
Are you talking from personal experience here, Bright?
I'm gonna take the 4,312th Amendment.
Well,
I'm gonna take that as a yes.
I mean, I know they were playing around with something like that in Uct, but something about gnomes getting curious, taking off the grates in the bath, and then getting stuck in the pipes.
We're not that small most of the time.
Well, no, these are the
I've
big
never
baths
seen a
with,
baby
like...
gnome, so
Unless we debigulate, then there's a risk.
how many people know how to debigulate though?
I mean, among gnomes, quite a few.
It's actually quite common, if you'd believe it.
That's actually how we got that way. Did your mom ever say don't make that face? It'll freeze that way. Well, that's how it is for us. We just debigulated and it froze that way.
And Sophie's just nodding like, yes, these are facts.
Yeah, they're just, fun
He
sized
doesn't know any better, he's just nodding like, yes, these are facts.
That story may or may not be true,
What?
but it's true that a lot of gnomes do know how to debigulate because it's fun.
Well, girls, do you
The
have
manager
a
behind the counter is chuckling at this as well as your DM. It sounds like
Do you
that
have a
you've made your
preference, girls?
choice, and I can have fresh robes and towels brought up to all of you, as well
How
as
much is
any
this
other goods that we can furnish, soaps perhaps, or even a snack of some variety. We can of course make sure that you get priority on the hot water, and if you need anything, even at an even later hour than it is, our kitchen will bring you something. However, that
What
being
sense
said,
of
the
soap do you
continental
have?
breakfast will always be brought up at 9 a.m. on the bell.
And how much does this cost?
Well, the room for the evening, that would end up being... let's give it that. Sorry, this is actually rather new here.
Would you consider a discount for a show?
Perhaps. The night is going pretty strong, and we could always use some more music. Maybe, how about this? I can allow you to put on a show, as there's none that are currently scheduled, though the fellow with the loot there, I'm sure we can have someone asked to leave. And if you want to use anything you earn to pay down your 15 gold for the night, then you can do so.
Sure.
All right
Makes
then.
sense.
The 15 gold up front then, please, and you can pocket whatever you earn.
And I hand him the 15 gold.
Okay, slide it over. How many keys do you need? It's not more than 3, I hope.
4.
And that is more than 3. I can give you 3.
It's okay. I don't need a key.
I don't really need one either.
No, it's okay. You're 19 now. You get your own key.
Oh, okay.
3 room keys are slid over.
Yes, you're 19 now. You get to drink all the caffeine, eat all the cake, and have a key.
Why, Bright? You're encouraging her. Stop it.
What? It's true. I'm 19. I can do whatever I want.
No, you're still
I'm just-
15. It's fine.
I'm just feeling
don't-
happy.
No,
today. That's all.
I was born 19 years ago, so I'm 19.
I don't need to see this poor tiefling drinking so much caffeine that she decides to transcend to a new plane of existence via means of vibrating out of this one.
It's too late for caffeine. I'll have that in the morning.
What are you ordering
Yes, a
at
good
the
cup of
at the
tea in the
bar
morning.
then?
Good.
Alcoholic drinks, because she's in the mood to party due to a spell that happened last time.
Ah,
Yes.
yes.
Yes. She's in the mood to party.
Sure.
And she-
What kind of alcohol can I serve you?
She would want something like extremely fruity.
Oh, all right. You would like a alternative beverage?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. They will. Yeah, they can offer you something. It'd be like a hard lemonade.
Yeah, she's fine with something like that.
There you go. They tell you that it is it's something that is rather new and is a recipe that was brought down by some Shadowhard dwarves, where they'll take lemonade, which is normally just good for keeping, and they kept it a little bit longer and ended up fermenting it, and so now you have alcoholic lemonade. It seems to be very popular. You're commended on your choice. This will end up being 5 copper pieces, please.
How
Hey,
much gold am I-
Mordecai.
How much gold do you want?
Just give me 5 and we'll deal with that.
Okay. 5 gold goes in her pockets. If she spends it all on booze, I am going to be concerned.
I would too.
Well, look, if she spends it all on booze and comes up not drunk, everyone's gonna be concerned.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what's gonna happen.
I mean, that's how you can tell she didn't spend it all on booze, because if she had, she'd obviously be drunk, and she won't be, so that's how you know.
Must have
Well
stuffed
then,
herself full of sweet treats.
Norla, you have 4 gold, 9 silver, and 5 copper on your sheet, and you have a lemonade in your hand. Now, as this is going on, the keys are being slid over. Norlai is being introduced to some rock hard lemonade, and Bright, your detect magic goes off, and you. There's some people have various things on them that might glow, like a ring or some little trinket here or there.
Of course.
There are a couple people who have illusion magic on them. But
Yeah, I know a little bit about that. No, I'm not worried about the people. I'm more interested in the, in the plumbing and all that, and the little
Yeah.
lights that glow without burning, and all those
yeah,
things.
I'm saving that for last. But it's okay because we're there. So after looking around at the normal identifiable stuff, all of these little these flame fixtures that are at the end of the pipes are I could probably assign them a school. I don't know which one would be offhand. But
Vocation.
that's not going to be as important as to say that they are magical, though it is really kind of baffling because it's not exactly clear. Maybe the school of magic, but you've tasted this rainbow before, Bright, and as you're detecting magic here, you are seeing seeing or even feeling magically that this is the environmental magic of Oiho. And as you're looking at these flames, you can even see that every so often, like a little black wisp of flame, or like a little dot or speck of flame, which maybe in other considerations, like it's a little wisp of smoke, or like a little bit of ash from a wick, or I don't know, like a moth got too close to it or something. But no, you're recognizing that this is, they're piping in hellfire to quaintly illuminate this place. And it is nice and warm in here too, considering, the outside temperature in the season.
Okay. Well, now we know. And so, I'm a little fuzzy. Did we get the room with indoor plumbing?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to want to check that out too. Check the plumbing up there and see if it's magical as well.
Okay.
Mordecai jingles the keys to lead everybody up.
Yep.
All
and
right.
Up we go.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be right now. We can wait for Norlai.
Norlai, do you want
I'm
to
going
take
in
your
with
one
the
drink to
double
go, or are you like, oh, I like lemonade? Oh, well, clearly this must have low alcohol, because I'd be drunk after immediately after this. 'Cause I don't know how much you've ever drank before.
I mean, I thought we were going to put on a show.
Yeah, we gotta settle in first.
Okay, I'll bring it up.
All right. So Norlai has a rocks hard lemonade, and ends up, you go up and up and up, and you are you have the top floor. It is it has the same color red that you recognize in a lot of Shadowheart livery. However, there are still a lot of old port designs and accents. So it's almost like a weird fusion of things. But much like you were told, you have the place to yourself. There's changing screens. There's separate beds. There's a little study area. You have little privacy curtains that you can roll out and put in a different place. And you also notice that there are light fixtures here that you can, Bright, you can also identify as being piped in. As it's not just a chain coming down to hold these, there's also a pipe that comes around and comes up.
We're not gonna have to go back there, are we?
I mean, if we do, I don't want to stay as long.
No, definitely not. I don't ever want to go back there again.
Well, now we at least know what to expect. Also, it might be easier for us to get home now. I've been working on an experimental spell. We'll find out.
Experimental spell.
Yeah, it was a spell that my body snatcher. I don't know if she invented it or found it somewhere. I don't know, but it might allow us to go there and back. We'll have to find out. We won't really know for sure until we try.
Yeah. Going back there. I don't. Well, messes with you. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But welcome to the opulent room, your highnesses.
Thank you.
You know, gnomes don't really use that expression.
I mean, to be quite honest, the government of Nithamask is the Cabal, so this is not really appropriate here either.
Makes them sound quite shady, don't you think? A cabal.
Well, what else are you gonna call a group of, what? Leaders?
A council? A symposium? Take your pick. There are a number of different things you could call them.
I mean, it depends on how secretive they are. The more secretive they are, the more of a cabal they are.
Well, no
I
one's
mean, they all
actually
wear
seen their
masks,
face.
but everyone wears masks.
They all wear masks because their position is the thing that is the mask.
Probably demons.
I mean, she just points up at horns. Eh.
I mean, like, the person behind the mask isn't the important part, it's the role.
That sounds like the perfect excuse for a scapegoat.
Who are you to question the government of another culture, human?
Humans are native to Mesomaska too, Mr. Silverleaf. Or
Yeah,
did you
they're
just
native to everywhere.
or did you just get well
You're
no.
not Mesomaskin.
Uct,
No.
Uct, Lacuna, Aslandia.
But you're not Mesomaskin.
I don't need to be Mesomaskin to know the geopolitical climate, Mordecai.
No. But you're
How do
questioning
politics have
our...
climates?
Exactly. It's just the way it is.
Have you ever stopped to question why things are the way they are?
Yes.
You didn't come up
Quite
with
a...
any answers, did you?
I've never been interested in government.
Well, considering that
You're the one
this
interested
entire
in
world is
government.
going to, considering Mordecai, that this entire world is going to, well, I wouldn't necessarily say hell, but probably a place worse than hell in a handbasket, and we should know we've been to hell.
I mean, I don't think it would become any worse than hell.
And all of us sound like lunatics.
Well, yes, it is a fine line between genius and
Almost.
insanity, after all. But that's the thing, if you're not daring enough to walk that line, you won't ever break any new ground. The price of innovation and progress.
Looking like a madman. I mean, as
I
much as I
mean-
understand that, Celine was a mad woman.
Yes, and you loved her. So
So was Jade.
yes, and whilst not fond in the same way, I'm sure you were fond of her too.
Yeah, I was.
I mean, when Jade wasn't plotting to kill him.
So, Mordecai, I hate to break this to you, my friend, but statistically, this is a lot more about you than it does about them.
Yes, I'm a madman. I ran away from home for 10 years, trying to escape the emotional pain of the death of a loved one.
Well, that doesn't make you mad. That doesn't make you mad. No, it's everything else. But why not embrace that fact and use it to innovate on the next big thing? Because I bet you ask any Mesomaskin in a city such as this one that's had, well, despite the grey morality and ethics of it all, this new technology brought in with the Shadowheart.
Mm-hmm.
Ask any Mesomaskin before it came in, and they would have called you mad. But how many of them are enjoying their indoor plumbing, their hot water, and their hellfire-powered lights and heating?
I just hope it's not going to steal their souls or something.
With the way the world is right now, that might even be a nicety.
I'm pretty sure Cypher's the bad one here.
Oh yes, I am also
Yeah.
certifiably insane. But think about it. Between whatever unfathomable thing that Shodaruth could cook up and them having their souls stolen by demons, which is the lesser evil here?
To be quite honest, I don't know.
I would say I would say the latter, for the simple fact that at least we could somewhat fathom what might happen to them.
Suppose.
Not to
And
say
only
that either
because
is a
we
good
know.
option. Not to say that
No.
either is a good option. Both are terrible options. But if faced with one or the other, what would you pick? Living an eternity in hell, or whatever Shona Ruth has in store for you? I think I know which I would pick.
Shona Ruth has been known to make its playthings, I suppose is the best term that you can call them, insane to the point of who knows,
Yes.
unable to comprehend anything. I don't know. I don't know.
Exactly. We don't know. But unless you're willing to walk that line between genius and insanity, you'll never get to.
Well, I
It is what
suppose attempting to save the world is kind of an insane mission.
Oh, indubitably.
Yeah.
We are going up against deific beings. Hell, the things that we've done just with dealing with Mercury in hell. Just the things that we've done.
Cypher, which cantrips do you have, out of curiosity?
Cantrips. I have. Where is? There it is. Eldritch Blast, Chill Touch, Prestidigitation, and Mage Hand.
Okay.
Mm.
I would like you to roll an Arcana while you're having this conversation with Mordecai. This check is brought about simply because of the topics and sort of the tone that you're having as well.
Ugh, that's a 14, but...
As you are making your point of, would people rather, would they, do they want to live with Shonaroth, or would they rather live with, Hellfire, and, you sort of make a motion up to one of the like braziers that are up there, providing a constant and warm light. It still kind of has a flicker to it as well. But if you stare at it long enough, and especially because you've seen it, otherwise, like, this is, to the masses, it's probably easier to just say, yeah, it's magical fire, don't worry about it. But you're like, yeah, this is piped in.
The literal fires of hell, piped in fresh from hell.
You
Couldn't do that with delicacies.
as you're looking at it, and you sort of make a gesture, and you have this thought in your mind. The flames kind of flicker, and they turn the same purple as your geometry magic.
Oh!
I was thinking of doing that, but I didn't do that.
For a moment. And then, so you go up there, you're talking to Mordecai, you make the flicker. For a second, everything just sort of, like, flickers purple. And, you look up, and there's, like, an image in the flames of what you, as Professor Cypher, imagine the form of Shonaroth to be. And it disappears. Now, I don't know if you've ever explained, how your take on Shonaroth looks. If it's a big, like, Cthulhu demon, if it looks like a big bug, if it looks like just a really unsolvable equation. But your take of Shonaroth for a second, forms in the flames that turn the same purple as your magic, and then it goes back to the normal, pleasantly glowing with occasional black ember hellfire.
Give me a moment. Because there is actually a way that he does see Shonaruth, and
With the fluff of the presentation there, this is indicative of you having this particular part of thaumaturgy. The mechanical effect of the thaumaturgy cantrip.
okay.
Color changing one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, prestidigitation could do something similar, so. But as far as that goes, he sees Shonaruth in the same way that one might depict a humanoid form of Zinch, and you would know who I'm talking about
Okay.
with that. A tall, gangly humanoid, hunched over, in robes that are ever scintillating with different colors. Long, spindly arms and limbs, everywhere covered with eyes and faces and mouths that whisper horrible truths and secrets. And just underneath all of this, the slight shifting of gears and pulleys and machinery that makes all of the faces move around.
Ah, that's gross, and I love it.
Well, it should be. Unfathomable eldritch horror. It should be disgusting. And I think Derek, hopefully, hopefully, if I was to explain that to Derek, that he would be like, "Yeah, I'm down with that description."
Now, this is a description though that you've never. Like, is it fair to say that the other three, if their eyes glance up at the, at the chandelier or the brazier, the hanging brazier, that they would not know? You know, but they would not
know what that was.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then the three of you, your eyes flick up because everything turns purple for a second, in the light here, and there's this figure, sort of standing in the flames, but then just a half second later, it goes back to normal.
What's that?
It seems like the fire reacted to my magic. Although the fact that I saw that figure, I didn't actually cast a spell. I'm talking about my general magical presence, but considering that figure, that's concerning.
What? Why? I've never seen a thing like that in my life.
Because that figure is how my mind comprehends the concept of Shonaruth.
There wasn't a whole lot of detail to it. You sure?
Yes, I am sure.
Didn't you put that image up there?
No. I'm sure of what the image is, but I didn't do that. And I know nobody else would have been able to do that because that image is something exclusive, something I've never really shared with anyone. Because Shonaruth is an unfathomable thing. And the way that our brains rationalize those sorts of things is unique from person to person. It's how I am able to recognize it as uniquely mine.
I am not sure how I feel about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that either, Mordecai.
you're not. You never really have explained how it is that you have the power that you do. It's you said it's something that you found that's Shadowhar,
Correct.
and now the whole thing kind of permeates your whole aesthetic.
Doubly correct.
You're not worried that you've opened yourself up more to Shonaruth.
No, because of the fact that this power comes from a different source.
No,
This power existed long before Shodaruth got here.
this is Shadowhar. This is Shadowhar technology. What you're wearing is Shadowhar
Magic.
technology.
Magic, not technology. But
Whatever.
yes.
At this point, it's indistinguishable.
I would beg to differ, but alright.
The two aren't related? The two aren't related to Shonaruth, then? If that image isn't something that you created right now,
Well, remember that we're dealing with Hellfire here. I was
How
just
do you
talking
know?
I was just talking about Shonaruth. It could be that the fire mixed with the general magic that I gave off in order to display the point. You're
so
asking
you
me
did
how
do
hell?
that on purpose.
No, that's the point. I think you forget that when one takes magic into themselves, not just myself, but you as well, and Bright and Noralai as well, we have a general magical presence within this world. Before doing anything active such as casting spells and whatnot, we are passively magical. You understand this, right? And therefore,
Yes.
things that are magically sensitive will react to our presence.
I've never had something like that happen before.
Neither
Not
have
on
I,
I probably
which is
have.
why I'm concerned.
Not like seeing Shonaruth on fire, but you know, things just popping up. That happens.
Well, that's kind of the.
Yeah, I mean, I've had that sort of thing experience all the time. Just not recently, but yeah, I mean, maybe not Shonaruth specifically, but weird stuff happening.
It may just be that the fire reacted to the fact that I was speaking about, the unfathomable eldritch horror.
But didn't we stop things in hell?
We stopped Mercury. And even then, we may not have even stopped Mercury. We might have just slowed her down.
Yeah.
We probably just slowed her down because, like,
Yeah, if only we hadn't let
because
her
when-
off of that table that she was tied to that sapped her strength.
quick note: which twin survived? Was it Glenn or Gary?
It was Gary.
It was Gary.
Gary. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Because when Gary popped out, he was saying how Casimir was still going around and like he's dating the multi-headed dragon lady, and so Mercury is probably still doing things because otherwise Casimir probably wouldn't still be a dragon.
But Mercury didn't turn him into a dragon. That was just the nature of the place.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she kind of did that though. I mean, he was like already kind of transforming, but like she did the final bit.
Yeah.
Would
Okay.
that be the same thing that turned me into a spectator?
I didn't change physically at all, because I was already a vampire.
Well, he changed a lot, like a lot.
Yeah, he did change a lot.
He did. Kind of embraced it, actually. That was frightening.
Yep.
But that's the thought, right? That's the thing. We're talking about a deific being. Someone who, again, we couldn't have hoped to have killed, maybe slowed down.
That no one in the world, the rest of the world, has heard of.
Yeah.
The fact that you even know something like that is mind-boggling. Because Jade said that she went and she was like the only person who knew.
Well, that's the thing. When if we're talking Shona Ruth, the fallen star of the Four Fire Plains is named Shona Ruth. And that's how
thought
I
that was
know
the name
anything.
she gave.
Wait, what? When did we learn that?
Because that was a thing that Cypher shared. That he knew.
I'm not saying that's
From his
publicly
research.
taught in all schools or anything, but
No, it's not. It's not a public thing that's taught. That this was an academic endeavor found in a book in the university library, kind of deal. So it's not. It's not commonly known knowledge, but it was a thing that he shared with all three of you. Well, with the two of you that were there.
Oh, that's
That-
why.
Yeah, the fallen star's name, the fallen star that gave the Four Fire, that fell in the Four Fire Plains was named Shonaru. Hell, we went to the crater,
Well,
and
I
Shonaru
remember
things
going to the
happened.
crater. So the falling fire that fell in Fall Fire is named Shonerth. Who gave it that name?
A historian from around when it fell. Didn't
How
it's
interesting.
it's apocryphal. It could have been someone who fell under Shonaru's influence, for all I know.
What do you know about that historian? Because here's the thing I've learned about mysterious people writing ancient books is that a lot of times they turn out to be dragons.
Dallas.
Dallas. Well, not a lot, if I'm being honest with you. I don't even have a name. Quite frankly, quite frankly, I considered the knowledge apocryphal until such time as I heard you mention the name.
The only reason we knew about it was because of Jade.
Who was under its direct influence, if I remember what you've said.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
But Jade resisted its influence more than, like, Loki, for example. Or at least expressed it
Well,
differently. Because, I mean, she was, yeah. Because she was battier than a thing with bats in it. But she didn't turn evil.
I mean, as far as we know, she had a death wish on me.
Well, sure, but you expect things like that.
was this before or after you became a vampire?
After.
Probably because the voice in her head told her that you were an aberration that was to be removed.
That's exactly what she would say.
Hmm.
I'm not supposed to exist. Wasn't supposed to
Yes.
exist.
Yes. Then think about it like this. It's probably not that she wanted to kill you.
She never did.
Wanted to kill you because you were you. She wanted to get rid of you because of what you would become.
Maybe if only a brief moment, Mordecai, a particular scene by a campfire plays out in your mind, where you went to go talk to Jade, who was whittling a stick, alone, because I think she was the one on watch. And
She wasn't watching.
As you walked up behind her, and she was whittling her stick, you noticed that it was a wooden stake with your name carved in it.
And one count with hers.
Yep. Because she was a carrier.
Yeah, she
She didn't make one for Bright, though.
so far as we saw.
Yeah.
She was preparing for the worst, maybe hoping for the best.
Yes.
And I'm not a vampire anymore. Technically not a tiefling anymore.
Yes, you're, 1% elf, 99% question mark.
I don't know what that is. I'm sure Shonen doesn't like that either.
I wish we still had Herbert. He could tell us.
Yeah. I'm gonna
That's a question.
real quick. I'm gonna cast locate plants and animals. I'm gonna look for a sentry vine.
All right. Can you also make a con save for me, please, Norlai?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Oh.
Okay. Yeah.
That's some good con.
The dwarves. That bartender's a filthy liar, because you've heard dwarven stuff is far more effective than whatever this rock's hard lemonade is.
Well,
I mean, it tastes good, but
but I do
well, it's
need
not
you
like
to.
she can be affected by it.
I do need you to roll a percentile, please.
yes, I know.
Please not fireball centered on self. Please
not,
not. It's not.
You're looking for 7 and 8 to be worried.
90. You become invisible for the next minute. During that time, other creatures can't hear you. The invisibility ends if you attack or cast a spell. Okay, so you go to cast a spell and you disappear and people can't hear you.
I just don't notice. I'm just complaining about the lemonade.
we don't hear any of that.
Yeah.
Nope. None of it.
Why can't you hear me? What? Mordecai.
Mordecai.
Yeah, you detect one within 5 miles of you.
And the direction and the distance to it.
Direction
What
and
direction?
distance is over there, X amount of distance.
So there is one to the southeast, like 3 miles. It's
I
X
can get
direction,
another
X
Herbert.
distance either.
There's one within 5 miles. Quite far. But I could get it. And I can have Herbert too.
Cypher is looking around now.
As you say
Cypher
this
is
to
looking
yourself,
around now.
and no one sees her.
Looking around now, it's like, wait. Norlai was saying something earlier. Where is she?
Saying something about what?
I'm
Said
gonna
something
open the door and leave.
Because you said something about other Herbert. Another Herbert before you cast locate plants or animals.
Brett,
Yeah.
is your special vision always on, or is that only if you're looking through the glass?
No, I have true sight with the glass, and then I have regular divination vision, and I have to activate that, and it lasts until I take a rest. So I
Okay.
don't remember if I've used it since the last rest.
You have not. I know, because we had a rest on the boat, so.
Yeah, so,
Yeah,
I mean,
I
it's late
don't-
night. You are presumably going to rest, so your choice if you want to see where Norlai may have gotten off to.
Well, I would probably let me see which, because I know I have different options on it, and I don't remember which one. Okay, so I have 2. I have one that sees invisible and one that sees into the ethereal plane, and I have to pick one. So I probably would use the invisibility for this.
Okay. Yeah. So you I don't know. Does something happen? Like, do your eyes sort of like go through filters, or like what happens when you turn this on? If anything, maybe nothing happens. It's a thing in your brain.
Yeah, I hadn't really thought about it, and I wouldn't really know because you can't see your own eyes.
Ooh, that's deep. All right, so Bright, you start scanning around, and you see Norlai generally where she was at, except she seems to have maybe dashed to a corner and is hopping joyfully in a circle.
I'm heading to the door.
Oh,
Okay, so I'm just I'm just gonna tell her, don't worry, I won't tell everyone.
But you're screaming that
Then
out
I'll just
loud.
go back. Yeah, and then I'll turn around and say to them, I don't know where she went.
And then the door opens and
The
closes.
door opens.
Dun, 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 dun.
How long am I invisible?
You're invisible for a minute.
Okay.
19
That's
years
plenty of
old and
time
still
for a lot of
acts
stuff
like
to
she's
happen in that.
5.
What's that?
She's 19 years old and she still acts like she's 5.
Lorelei, 12 at heart.
Yep. Denied her childhood, growing up in hard circumstances. Alright, so
The cop flinched to my parents!
you go dashing off out of the room and down the stairs, and I mean, unless you're attacking someone or you're popping a spell, you get a minute head start out into the night or whatever you're doing. Well, so Bright knew where she was. Then subsequently you all knew where she was. She's probably not at the door anymore, but she did at least close it behind her.
I'm just heading for the sentry vine.
You're gonna walk 3 miles late at night.
I mean, I can fly, so.
She really wants that sentry mine.
Is she sneaking out? Right.
No one knows.
What?
These lips are arcane locked.
I'm gonna send a message in a general direction of where she went. Where are you going?
Sure, you can go around corners. You open the door and just look down the staircase, and you sort of you curve your words over to her.
Yeah, send her a message because I can't see her. Where are you?
I'll send one back. I'm getting a new Herbert.
Where are you going?
I'm getting a new Herbert.
Be back before dark.
It's already dark.
Be back before dawn.
You're not gonna sleep if you keep going like this. Get over here and get back to bed.
But Herbert!
No. Tomorrow.
Fine. I'm getting another drink while I'm down here.
Fine.
Not gonna have the trip go to waste. Sure. If you want another Rocks Hard lemonade, it's 5 copper pieces, so now you have 4 gold and 9 silver.
Can the bartender even hear her while she's invisible?
Well, but it's a minute.
Well, it would have
so...
worn off by now.
It's a minute. It would have worn off at like the bottom of the stairs.
Yep. So you appear, you go over, back again. How'd that first one treat you?
Ah, I thought it'd be stronger.
Well, if you want another one, yeah, you don't seem to be too far off, but just be careful. This is it's called Rocks Hard Lemonade for a reason. The first one might not hit you too hard, but like a rock, it'll keep building and building and building.
Well, that's fine. I like the flavor.
All right. There's another one. Things are still things are a little calmer downstairs now. It's not as ruckusy. Some people are starting to leave out the door because it's been kind of late, or it's later as you all have been having the conversation and the analyzation and the remembering. But there's still people down there who are finishing. You know, conversations are still going. That one guy still is just like super deep in his cups, just sort of like over there, and he just.
I'm gonna send a message up. Are we doing a show tonight, or should we just do that tomorrow?
Yes, I'm coming. And I unpack my violin as I'm doing as we're still conversing. I did promise the show, so I should probably get to that.
Okay, this leaves Bright.
Does the
and
rest of
Professor.
Chroma Company want to be a part?
I mean, I'll certainly help Mordecai with the show. Those are
Okay.
fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's been a
Right,
while
and-
since we have.
Professor, this means that you'd get all first dibs on the hot water and the indoor plumbing if you just wanted to sneak off to a bath or something.
I
Not
mean,
that you
that's
have
nice
to.
and all. That does sound nice, but in the same breath, I think I'm just gonna go with help.
Okay.
Bright and Cypher are magical effects. Because, I mean, I could try performing. I do have a +5 in it, but
What would you perform?
no idea.
So it's not performance; it's improvisation.
Yeah,
He's not a performer, not like me.
no
He's a
proficiency,
public
but still
speaker
plus.
is what he is.
I am an orator.
Very well. So we come back down. There are not as many people here. It looks like the dancer is off in a corner, counting some coinage, perhaps her tips for the evening, and there's no one on the stage now. That person might have already been hustled off by the manager, or just finished the set. But yeah, there's a couple of people. There's a table with some with a few, not Shadowheart soldiers, but people who are dressed from the region, and have just that look of a Shadowheart native. There is our sleepy, somewhat snoring patron here, and a couple other people who are finishing a meal and a conversation. It's not nearly as full, but there are still people here. So, Mordecai, given the hour, given the mood, what would you like to do for your performance to see if you can earn some muns?
I'm gonna play something kind of traditionally local.
Ah, okay.
Because while I might not have been home this whole time, it's more that, like, that culture's just, like, was the first 19 years of my life. And so I just play something from memory from back then.
Yeah. Sure. Go ahead and make a performance
Maybe
at advantage. This is so you're playing a hometown classic, something tried and true. You've been familiar with it forever.
Probably something that reminds me of Corinna.
Oh my.
I'm gonna cast Thaumaturgy on the lights to Moodlight.
Sure. In this, then Noralai, I would like you to make a. You may make a performance as well, but well, no, you cast off of charisma, so just make a performance with your magic. Okay. Professor, what do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna be chucking in the magical effects and whatnot as well.
Of what variety, and what are you using to power it?
It's most likely going to have to be prestidigitation, because the rest of my magic, or I could make Mordecai levitate. Yeah, I think I might make Mordecai levitate.
Okay. All right. Easy enough. Mordecai, you begin floating. Noralai, something that you notice while you are trying to set the mood is that you are unable to manipulate the Hellfire's color. However, the candles, the more traditional flame, the mundane flame, you absolutely can. But you're not able to modify the Hellfire. No matter how hard you squint at it or even like puff your cheeks out in a pout, it doesn't seem responsive.
I'm also going to cast Dancing Lights.
Okay. As a
I'm going to make a humanoid. Yes.
Ah, okay. Are you making it look like a certain lost love of Mordecai's, or it doesn't have a lot of detail, but I mean, it's, you know.
I think I'm gonna make it
I
look.
would know what Corina looks like.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
No, but I mean, if it's a vague, like, oh, he's singing about a girl that he loved,
Yeah.
kind of make like a vaguely feminine shape.
I'm actually gonna make it look more masculine and do a dance with it
Oh.
to the music.
All right. Sure. So the dancing lights go up. The thaumaturgy does color some of the candles. Bright, are you having a hand in this too? What would you like to do?
Yeah, I was going to, but I'm not particularly sure what abilities I have that would be useful right now. I think probably what I would like to do is, because I don't have any fancy pyrotechnics or anything right now, but what I could do is, everything is utility right now. I don't have anything that can be fun, other than, I could do minor illusions for the to help Mordecai with accompaniment, but that's not very constructive. It's not a good. It's nice, but it's not great. So what I would probably like to do is use my detect thoughts again to kind of scan the crowd and use it to get real-time reviews. And then I can...
Bryce, your social media manager here, okay.
Yeah. And then I can kind of feed that information to Mordecai to help him improve his performance, or maybe, if somebody's like, boy, I really wish he'd play this favorite of mine, and then I could just be like, hey, play this favorite of this guy's. And then if anybody really hates it, I'll hit them with the power words done.
Okay. All right.
That's haha only serious. I was left speechless by the performance.
Quite literally, I couldn't move.
Sure. All right. This this goes on, and you let's see. The performance goes very well, even for the crowd that's here. And in fact, Mordecai, especially because you chose that hometown flavor and you're giving it a really rich performance, this is catching the attention of the Shadowhar especially, because they've been gobbling up this culture, for better or worse. As this is a take on a song that they've heard before, but this is a different rendition, and it has the mood lighting, and it has this kind of eerie dancer along with you as you're also floating. Something that might have been a simple folk song has been turned into a very emotional and moody experience, especially because you yourself are drawing on, you're feeling the pain wink as from your magical instrument of the feeling of loss of well, I don't know, your mind might wander given its proclivity to sort of blame yourself for everything, but that's for you to narrate. But yes, we come over to Bright, and you are make an investigation, Bright. You're here analyzing the trends, the data in real time.
18.
18. Given the performance, it seems pretty good. We'll say that there's 20 people in the room, and of the 20, 19 of them have they're engaged, and of the 19, probably a solid 15 of them are really liking the performance.
Okay. So obviously the remaining 5, and especially that remaining 1, definitely curious to see what their problem is.
Sure.
You have to. If you don't like it, I'll make you like it.
Well, yeah. So you're scanning this and you notice, okay, 20 people. I'm picking up 19 thoughts. What? And you focus in a little bit more, and the person who's been sort of drunk and at the table here making noises doesn't seem to have thoughts.
Like, doesn't have any thoughts at all?
No.
Okay. So I want to check to see if they're alive.
Sure. So the performance goes on. I imagine you're not making anyone else aware of this.
Oh no. This is all very much low key. I don't want to distract from the. Now, if they turn out that they're actually dead, I might have to call attention to that. But there's no reason to panic prematurely.
Sure. Like it seemingly is snoring, making noises. You go over. Go ahead and roll medicine, unless you want to do anything else to.
I'm not very good at medicine.
No, you're not.
I'm really not good at medicine. Medicine is like perception for me. I'm really bad at it. Always have been. Whole game, been bad at it.
I mean, even with that, for all of you out there, because you can't see our chat box, that's for your.
Oh yeah, that's a 3.
That's a
It's a
3.
3.
I mean, snoring, kind of making meh meh meh. You do notice like injuries on him, like maybe he was in a fight.
Does he have, like, what does he look like? Is he like just a commoner, or does he have soldier's uniform? Like, what kind of person are we dealing with here?
Everyday human old port attire. Just no one of
Which is pretty opulent.
no one who's opulent. No one who is wearing any sort of like badge of authority, or is wearing any kind of particular armor.
Okay. Well, but he's snoring, so that's good. Does he have like 6 empty glasses in front of him, or
Just one.
anything that would just one? Okay. That's interesting. I mean, I want to. Is anybody watching? Like, do we have? I mean, obviously we're in public, but do we have, like, will we escape notice if I search a little more thoroughly?
I think most of the attention is on this amazing performance that is being put on with lights and everything else.
Okay.
You're a very low-key person, so.
So here's something that I did with Casimir one time, and I'm gonna try it on this guy too. I want to cast Dominate Person to make him get up and follow me into into a different room.
Sure. Your spell fails.
Fails how?
It doesn't have an effect on your target.
Huh. That's interesting. Do I have any sense of like it's because of a particular reason, though?
Well, you're aware that there's different spells that would have effects on different, people, places, or things.
Yeah.
It would seem that you are not targeting the particular adjective
Yeah, okay,
or
so he's
noun.
not a humanoid. He's probably either undead, or maybe he's like a dragon that's Well, I mean, if I have 10 minutes, I can identify this guy. I think I'm actually gonna do that. I'll spend 10 minutes identifying him.
Are you just gonna like sit beside him and
Yeah, I'll just sit beside him and try to look nonchalant.
Sure. All right. Well, while this is going on, Mordecai, I mean, you're pouring your heart and soul out here. You look out and you see that Bright's sitting beside the drunk that was in there from before, and is just sort of like coloring on her placemat with a crayon or something, like kind of putting a little like arcane circle or sigil or something, and Noraline, the professor, you're more actively trying to keep things going here. So you may not be that aware, but Mordecai is the one looking out over the audience. So you see that Bright is sitting beside this lug and is doing her thing. You've seen her do this before. She gets in this 10-minute mood, and
Yeah, I tend not to disturb her in that regard.
sure.
I know what identify looks like. She's done it enough times in front of me.
That being
Oh,
said,
yeah.
you're gonna have to buy her some time if she's kind of just hanging out there, because your song's coming to an end.
Well, I'm gonna keep it going.
Yeah, give me another performance.
At advantage.
Yeah. Yep, you've done a pretty good job here, keeping everyone going.
Should I roll one too?
Yes, I need one from you as well, Noraline.
It's a gross roll for me.
That is maybe Bright's weird activity kind of throws you off a little bit, and your voice hitches, or I don't know, you do like a weird, like you recognize, wow, I'm actually levitating, and it's a little scary at first, and your heart,
Oh,
you still gotta use
I don't
your
like
heart
when my
jumping
feet's not on the
up in your
ground.
throat.
I don't like when my feet's not on the ground, especially when I can't control it.
Yeah.
Because levitate, I can control.
Now that you're not completely absorbed by your own thing, you sort of panic a little bit in the air, and
Not
but,
true, actually.
mhm.
It
Let me-
follows
let me pull-
momentum.
Let me pull up the text of levitate for you.
It follows momentum. You can't control it like flight.
You control up and down. You're just floating there.
Yeah,
You actually get to control the up and down motion.
But if somebody bumps me, I follow that momentum.
Yeah.
The
But-
target can move only by pushing or pulling against a fixed object or surface within reach, which allows it to move as if it were climbing. You can change the target's altitude by up to 20 feet near the direction on your turn. So, if you are the target, you can move up or down as part of your move. Otherwise, you can use your action to move the target, which has to remain within the spell's range. As the spell ends, the target floats gently to the ground if it's still aloft. So, like, if something bumps you, you're not gonna end up flying off anywhere. It has to be, like, a properly fixed surface or object.
Noralai, you're able to help. Like, you see Mordecai kind of stutter a little bit here, and as best you can with the limited control of the mood lighting you have, you turn things maybe like a dark color or even like a matching blue, so that Mordecai's form kind of fades against it, so he doesn't look panicked or jilted, and it kind of makes your dancing lights like to shift the eyes down there, so you're covering up. Like, Mordecai stutters a bit, but you're in there with a quick mood lighting change. Professor, you're there, like, working the curtains or whatnot, doing this as Mordecai kicks or flails just for a second. Mordecai, with this though, you've been taken out of your musical moment. I want you to make a perception as well, since you're having to, like, look around and just sort of, like, recenter yourself and get back into it.
I'm gonna pair that with Eyes of the Grave,
Okay.
just to see how many people have actually turned into vampires. Perception. God, it's like the worst thing in the world.
Okay, an 18, and can you put the text up for Eyes of the Grave for me?
Be right back. I have to deal with Cat.
Okay, no problem.
Actual coffee cat.
Modifier. Okay. Oh, this is kind of like the Paladins, their Detect Evil, except it's just for undead. Or it's close to it.
It's like Divine Sense.
Yeah, Divine Sense, that's it. Alright. Then all will be revealed when the cat is wrangled.
I'm back.
All right. Mordecai, you are sensing, this is, it's an action, and then until the end of your next turn. Sure. You are detecting 2 undead. And as you are looking forward from the stage, there is someone in a dark cloak that seems to be making pretty good use of this mood lighting as well. That is slipping out the front door before falling off of your radar, probably due to distance.
And he's a vampire. Or he's undead, at least.
Undead, at least, yeah. Unfortunately, the Eyes of the Grave don't tell you the particulars.
Type of creature. Yeah. Oh. But there's one other in this room?
Yes. Very close to you.
Okay. Oh, what am I do? What? Oh, okay. Come back. Come back to me. I'll think of something to do.
Okay. Oh, I mean, you're performing in the meantime. Bright is casting. Bright, as you are, the person next to you ceases. Puppy. The person next to you ceases snoring and breathing and mumbling.
Okay, that's not good. What are they doing instead?
Laying face down, forearm on forehead, not moving.
Okay. Well, if they've stopped breathing, that's not good. How close am I to the identify triggering?
I'm gonna say that you are 4 minutes away from it going off.
That's too long. Okay. Then I have to raise an emergency. So I'm gonna I'm gonna use a minor illusion to create a large amount of sound, and the sound is going to be, "This man is dead. We need a doctor right away."
Okay.
That may interrupt the performance.
It may.
I'm gonna hear that and want.
There-
I'm gonna hear that and run over.
Okay. So, sure, Mordecai, you start, I guess, flailing your feet. Professor, I don't know if you really talked about this. That could be a signal for let me down, let me down, let me down, let me down.
No, it's Scooby-Doo style. He's just running in the air, and then finally, there he
The
goes.
bong goes.
Yeah, bird. Yeah, bird.
Sure. Yeah, you already got your feet in momentum here. Noralai, there's like a because everyone is like looking at her, like the spell, the non-magical spell of music has been broken. I mean, the mood lighting's still going unless you do something otherwise, but Bright is screaming emergency. Mordecai is boom, 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 and rolling out.
I would change the mood lighting back to normal because someone's dying.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Respectful. Okay. And Mordecai, you run over to where Bright is and is like pointing with fingers and maybe even like magical, like bink, 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 like big glowing arrows. This one here, what are you gonna do?
I am going to activate Healing Hands and dump hit points in him.
Sure. You come over. You come over and use your healing hands. As you do, there's a loud crack of lightning outside. Your healing hands.
Wasn't me.
Hmm?
It wasn't me.
It's a good force of habit, I guess, to be in. Your healing hands go off, but don't seem to have an effect on this man.
He's not dying, he's dead.
Yes. Another bolt of lightning.
Is he the creature that I was detecting an undead from?
I don't think that lets you specify, but you're...
Doesn't that tell me direction?
No, you learn the location of any undead. So
Oh, yeah. Is it it's a light up location?
Location within 16.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I thought it was just like a radar, like, oh, within, you know, like the ranger thing, like, oh, within X miles. It's like, oh, yeah, there's
Yeah.
a billion beasts.
No, it does.
They
It does
Okay.
just need
give
to
you
identify them.
proper
Okay, no,
location.
I'm sorry then, Mordecai, yes. This person is undead. Sorry, that was my misinterpretation of your ability.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, as Brett, I didn't have access to that information anyway, so I didn't say anything. But yeah.
Uh, um, um, do I want to try Bionic?
Outside.
Fuck it. I've never tried to revivify on a vampire. Do we want to waste the 300 gold?
Do we know that this is a vampire? Well, let me check his neck for vampire bites.
Bite marks. Yeah.
Curse my
checking
stupid
for
3
bite marks.
medicine. I didn't think of that before, I guess.
I'm gonna check in for bite marks.
Sure.
I know what those look like. I've done that before.
You've caused them before too.
Hmm.
Sure. You tilt the head over and go ahead and make a medicine.
Oh, great. This is not great for me. I'm only one higher than Bright.
It's okay. With this, he does look like maybe he's been beat up. You don't see any bite marks. Though he has some pretty bad bruising. Like, it seems like really deep. And
Maybe it's the new kind of vampire. They don't bite you, they just punch you.
there's something that now that the music stopped and everyone's just sort of like, oh, gasp, and you know, they're waiting for the doctor, of course, to show up here. There's a sound. It's getting louder and louder and louder.
Like a buzzing sound? I didn't hear the sound you made.
A metallic twangy buzz and a whistle, a very loud whistle.
What? Does it seem to be coming from any place in particular?
Sure. Mordecai is doing that. Bright, you can make an investigation. Professor, you're hearing this as well. If you want to either like perceive or aid, if you want to offer something in the investigation and the quick thinking.
I think I may aid in the investigation.
Okay. Well, it offers a little bit more. It sounds like it's coming from outside. And then, Norlai? Oh,
Mhm.
I'm sorry. Well, if Bright was going to say something here, you perk up your ears and...
I was just gonna say I'd like to run to the outside, or to the door at least, not actually leave the building, but just go to the front door and see if I can see anything outside, anything obvious, if that's where it's coming from.
Sure, you start taking off towards the front door. That'll take a round or so, because the person that Mordecai saw dropped off the radar, quote unquote, because that was beyond the 60-foot scope. This is like a big eating hall, and you're towards the front at the stage. Norlai, what are you doing in this regard?
I wouldn't be doing anything in particular.
Okay.
I probably would just dispel my dancing light as well.
Sure. Boop. All right. So Bright takes off. Mordecai, you're there with this unresponsive undead person. There's no bite marks that you've seen on the neck.
And he's not woken up yet?
And what?
He's not woken up yet?
No. Just ragdolls.
but he pinged as an undead during the performance, and he's just limp
Yeah.
now. He's not. There's no movement. Nothing.
Yep.
Mm. Oh, I don't want to leave him alone, but I don't want to. I don't want to not join my party. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna join the rest of the party. Like staying a bit behind, keeping an eye on this guy, but joining them as much as I can. Keep an eye on him.
Okay, Professor. I mean, you would be abandoning him because you'd be, if you're running out, you're moving like 60 feet out towards the door and away from where this person's sitting.
Right, I'm moving towards the door, but I'm keeping an actual eye on him for this round.
Oh, like, so you want to just like split the difference in like 30-30?
Well, I just want to keep my attention on him should he start moving again.
Oh, okay.
But I'm actually moving.
You're walking backwards, but you're like looking at him.
Yeah,
Okay.
walking backwards, but like, yeah.
I'm gonna make sure that he's not gonna attack someone, of course. Kind of make sure that I'm not too far away that I can't deal with him if I need to.
Sure.
Yep.
Probably stay at the door for this point.
Warp it up.
You're going to the door as well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Norlai, are you staying inside the tumbled wench, or still sipping on your rock hard lemonade?
No, I finished that before the performance.
Your second one? Okay. Hey, slam that one back. Gotcha. Okay. So we have Bright. You're not going to hamper the vision of you're not going to hamper the vision of Mordecai or even the professor, as you can almost pull off like a Three Stooges in the doorway, looking out.
Yeah, sure.
It's not like that, but I mean the different statures of each of you here. You a couple things to notice. One is that you do see several more lightning bolts crack across the sky, but the sky isn't stormy. And
okay.
something else registers as well. This isn't going to play on your all's end because I didn't have it loaded into my audio here, but at least for those of you on stream, sirens fill the night sky, emanating from airships. Ink, 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 ink. These weird, super powerful lights aboard the ships turn on and begin scanning the city below. And what would have been kind of well, I described it as a whistle, a metallic whistle. It's not quite like the siren, but it is making a very loud noise as you
like
see
a klaxon?
One of the sky ships with engines, with two of its engines wrecked, plummeting towards the town square.
Oh.
And
is it?
Oh, go ahead.
Is it plummeting right toward us, or is it plummeting somewhere else?
It is plummeting close by. Hopefully not at the tumbled wench, but the tumbled wench and the wild cherry are like across the same public plaza. And you look, all of this is happening in the dark. This thing is careening down towards the street, and smoke or steam or wait, no, it's not that. Just vapor trails of spirits leaking, pouring out of the ruined engines, are leaving a wiggly wake behind this thing as it is just about to crash into the public square.
I would like to roll a divine intervention.
Sure. What is your quick prayer? And what are you seeking?
Seeking to land the ship in the dock rather than on the square, so it lands safely.
Okay. The docks would be a little too far away, but if you're seeking as like less of a disaster landing as possible, so
The least amount of lives lost.
okay. Rub a dub dub. Thanks for the
a
grub.
D100 under 15.
15 or under.
Yep.
God
Nope.
damn it.
Oh, if only you went high.
I suppose if that doesn't work, it's my time. It's my turn.
Gravity.
What is that melody?
Hot universe sinks for my. See, told you my Dutch was rusty. But no.
What is
As Cypher, as Mordecai attempts to say his prayer and nothing's happening, Cypher moves forward. They're gonna hate me for this. I'd like to fire off as fast a prestidigitation as I can manage very quickly. Just to conjure up a sound. It's just this screaming of "clear the square."
Sure.
And then,
With thaumaturgy.
yeah, well, I have to use prestidigitation because I don't have thaumaturgy, but prestidigitation can do up small auditory illusions such as that one.
It might not be
So
as
it's kind of
powerful
more of a
bullhorn
disembodied
as
voice
thaumaturgy,
rather than him
but
saying it.
You'd
Yeah.
be like, "Get out of here, tang, tang, tang," like on a tambourine kind of a thing, or
Yep.
something smaller like that.
And then Cypher is gonna run up, slam both of his hands to the floor, creating a massive magical circle of geometry. How am I gonna stop this thing from crashing? The only way I know how.
Change gravity.
All right, this is going to get like the public square isn't like flooded with people, but there are people going home from bars and whatnot. This will catch people in anti-gravity, just as a heads up to you.
They're gonna have to deal with it.
Okay.
Noralai can start rescuing them from the
I'll rescue some people too. I have ways.
yeah. They're gonna
Have
have
I
to start
used my
rescuing
radiant
them.
soul this day?
Do you have to put it on the ground? Or could you reverse gravity like 10 feet above the ground?
I
so
can
people can't
I can reverse gravity like 10 feet up. But basically
That's interesting.
the massive, it's just a point within range. It's not even a point on the ground within range, which is actually really funny. But basically this massive magical circle appears, and the ship and basically anything that's currently 10 feet or more up is floating to the top of a 100-foot high cylinder.
Okay. Okay.
There's one Goliath that gets caught in it.
Just the barest tip of his head, just like he's walking. What?
Even Goliaths aren't 10 feet tall. They're like 8.
They're like 8. I mean, you might get like that massive
Yeah,
one
but
that's
it's
got
late,
a little bit more
you're
giant blood
stretching.
than the rest.
Just whoop.
Yeah, it stretches up. And Cypher is gonna look to the other three. I can't keep this up forever. Go.
All right.
Okay.
What we're gonna do with this, I will describe the outcome of the reversal of gravity, and we will roll into the series of events here that are happening. But I'm gonna get up and take a break, and we're gonna come back and we'll resolve this.
This. Yep.
Yeah.
It's just like the other 2 times I've used reverse gravity. We're gonna take a break, and then we're gonna figure out how this works, and then we're gonna resolve this.
Question mark?
Question mark?
That is
Usually
gravity
happen.
work.
We break with reverse gravity every time.
Gravity, like magnets, is powered by miracles.
I will.
Yes.
For all of you out there, we'll take about a 10-minute break or so, refresh yourselves, but also, I hope that you enjoy the new break screen we have. As Derek, who is currently working on a hideous monster named Maria, I believe, on his art channel, he put a ton of time into this, and I hope that you enjoy. There's a lot there to see. You could probably look at this thing 20 different times on 20 different days, and you'll still find stuff. But anyway, I'm going to take you to our break screen, and I hope you enjoy the music as well. And we will be back with the resolution of what's going to happen here.